friends, MD Vegan. It's my gentle juice fasting day and I want to make a nice plant milk. Sometimes I do that when I fast. In the end of the day, to slow down fasting, with a little bit more high calorie drink like a plant milk. Usually I drink water, fruit, juices, fresh made usually, teas, everything where I can drink a broth or so. To keep me hydrated, I'll eat a lot of water on a fasting day. Fasting is about cleansing the body, a lot of water needed, and also the brain, the mind, to get rid of things I don't need anymore, the major aspects. And if that is done, the body is calm, the mind is calm, then I can be intuitive, easier, be creative. And that's so nice to have these recipes already I make on a fasting day. I'm really looking forward to that. I have a lot of time on a fasting day. I don't need to cook. Save a lot of time in it. It's a burden goes away. It's like resting. The digestion rests. Yeah, the fiber is taken out of the food and the drinks, and the nutrients go directly to the bloodstream. That's why it's easier to live on a fasting day, only once a week. Otherwise it's too much. If you do that longer, it gets more stressful and it's not good. Fasting should be gentle. That's why we call it gentle juice fasting, and be fun. And this is a way, more calories in plant milk. I have almonds today, a cup of almonds. It's almond milk basically. It says the fat is high calorie, and that means the fasting is slower. Yeah, fasting is reducing calories in a certain time, so the calories go down. You have less energy. The body changes to another mode, and this is a very effective mode. When you fast, you have too little calories as compared to what you usually have and need. You have less calories, and the metabolism, the way you get your energy, changes. You don't burn sugar anymore, like on a regular day. The cells burn sugar mostly. On a fasting day, the cells begin to burn small molecules that are smaller and more efficient. It's ketones. They call it ketones. The ketones are smaller kind of molecule. It's very effective. It's like a cleansing of the body. The body cleanses itself, begins to digest itself, so to say. It's a little bit wrong, but it's a different way. It's more effective. The body needs that more effective mode. It has less energy, and that is something we experienced during all our evolution. People had always long periods of time without food, so they need this emergency state. And on the other side, they stored the energy, the fat in the body, and then when they had no food, they could burn that and have the other state. But that's normal, and in the fasting we do that voluntarily, on purpose, to cleanse ourselves. It's a very healthy thing to do. It's in all cultures we have fasting. So the gentle juice fasting is a nice way, and today I make a recipe that is called golden milk, and I have made a very simple golden milk the other day that has only 3 ingredients. The main ingredients are, of course, the turmeric. That is the main part of the golden milk here. Turmeric, that is a root, a tuber, that has this special bright orange color. This is curcumin. That's the name of the color. It's a very powerful nutrient. It's a chemical, the curcumin. It is maybe the most powerful nutrient we know. Turmeric is a very famous spice. The Indians use it all the time, and it can prevent or even heal cancer. There are thousands of studies proving that. And what they found, you need another thing to make it work in the body. The turmeric cannot work, the curcumin cannot work in the body unless it comes together with fat, either fat. That's why I put the almonds in, almond milk. Yeah. Can use other nuts, like coconut milk or so. And, or you can also use pepper, black pepper. This is one of the seasonings today I use. Here is a half teaspoon of black pepper. Either or both you can use to make the curcumin work in the body and unfold its full power. Anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, so it's really a great seasoning. It has a little bit a earth flavor. It's a strong earth flavor, and I can't take too much, so I have maybe 1/3 of a cup. If you have these roots here, the fresh ones. You can also have the powder. Then I would maybe take maybe 2 tablespoons or so. I would try for a liter of milk, 2 tablespoons of powder if you have. That's also nice. And the other main ingredient, the third one, is a sweetener. I need a sweetener to make it delicious. Otherwise, it tastes too strong. I have here 18 dates. That is a half a cup. If you press it together, I would say half a cup, or maybe about 8 dates. I have just about measurements, not so precise. Yeah, I check a little bit with more dates, with less dates, more turmeric, less turmeric. It's much about texture and flavor. Is it gentle? Is it sharp? Is it too much? So that's about what I take now. I suggest this is the measurement I would prefer, but it can always change. So for a liter, here I have a cup of almonds, half a cup of dates, and a third a cup of turmeric roots, or maybe 2 tablespoons to be sure about the measurements a little bit. And then I have a powerful next ingredient, that is ginger. There's a lot of ginger here. You see that is, let's say, 6 or 7 inches ginger root. That's a lot. And I think it is nice to have it balanced with the dates, the sweet dates and the ginger. Ginger is another very powerful spice that is all over the planet, and it can enhance the other nutrients. If you eat ginger together with the meal, the other nutrients are easier absorbed in the body. It's more effective. Ginger is a miracle for that. Also one of the great spices we have. And then I showed you already the black pepper. Yeah, that's very healthy. And cinnamon and cardamom. That's just calming. It's calming for the stomach, the cardamom. And the cinnamon is also very high antioxidant. It's a tablespoon, or maybe let's say 2 teaspoons, not a tablespoon, a little bit less than a tablespoon, 2 teaspoons. It is a very hard. The texture is very firm from the cinnamon. It is a bark of a tree bark, and it's just ground tea bark. So it will never be really fine if you blend it. It will always remain hard particles. So when you take too much of the cinnamon, it has a sweet earth flavor. That's very nice and pleasant and super healthy and high antioxidant. Yeah, that's very good. And if you take too much of it, because of the texture, it is always coarse. It is too thick, the drink. Yeah. So it's delicious and healthy, but you can't take too much of the cinnamon. So a smaller tablespoon maybe. And then the turmeric, the black pepper, and the cardamom. So that's the ones I add today, the cardamom and the black pepper. I added to the cinnamon and to the ginger. So the last recipe I made, the second one in this recipe line, is the 3 basic ingredients: almonds, dates, and cardamom and turmeric. The next step was cinnamon and ginger. And now I add black pepper and cardamom. So step by step, the recipe gets more complex. And the first one is really just the pure power of the turmeric, the golden milk, the basic golden milk. It's just the 3 ingredients. Then I make it fuller, tastes fuller with ginger and cinnamon. It tastes a little bit sweeter and rounder, yeah, fuller. But when you add then the cinnamon, the third step today, I add the black pepper and the cardamom. It really begins to radiate in all directions, like an explosion, like a sun is opening, it's rising, yeah. And so step by step, the recipe gets more refined, and I understand every single step, how the ingredients work, which ingredients does what. That's what I want to know as a chef. Cooking is basically combining ingredients to making something more of it. Yeah. So that's more than its parts. Yeah. So it's something extra, and that I need to know the ingredients and how they play together. So today I try this one, the third step of my golden milk line, beginning with a cup almonds, half a cup dates, third cup of turmeric, large amount of ginger. I keep a little bit ginger out of it. I will save a little bit, made a little too much. I'll try that. And then small tablespoon cinnamon, teaspoon or half black pepper and cardamom, and a liter of water. Yeah, and when I blend it, then I filter it through a Nutmilk bag, and the milk is done. It's a large container with ingredients here. It took a little bit longer, but now you already see this yellow color. This is a golden color from the turmeric. That's a typical color. Let's see what it's like. Texture is okay. You have such a lot of ingredients, it can be too thick. Then you have some little water. This kind of thing can happen. No, the texture is pretty okay. It's a thick texture, but turmeric, this golden milk also is thick, a little bit creamier. Flavor, pretty okay. Pretty nice, I guess. I would say pretty nice measurement, proportion. But I can tell only when I have filtered it, because that makes a big difference. It takes the fiber out. The fiber is that what we cannot, grossly speaking, but we cannot digest. The fiber makes the digestion work. It separates the fiber from the nutrients, basically. So in the fasting day, I take the fiber out, so there's no digestion. The nutrients go directly to the bloodstream, and that also changes the flavor a lot. The flavor gets so light. That's really so much fun on a fasting day. The metabolism, how I get my energy changes. It gets more effective, like in an emergency, and also the flavors from the juices, and so without the fiber it gets lighter. That's really nice. It's a different life experience, another energy. It's like cooking without oil, for example. It's a similar lighter energy. So I put now what I blended here into the Nutmilk bag. I've been a little bit careful now, because when it collapses, the opening, then I pour everything into the bowl directly, and it's not filtered anymore. I'm a little careful now, and so that's done. Okay, I was successful. Yeah, now I have to milk the Nutmilk bag, milk the almonds, so to say. Yeah, that's a fun from the vegans they like. So now here, what comes out of here is the golden milk. It's ready. Now I have to milk it. This is a Nutmilk bag, has a tiny pores, and it keeps the fiber out of the milk. So what I do now, be careful. If I press too hard here, the milk jumps out of my clothes and my kitchen, so I have to be very carefully. And it takes some time. I do it thoroughly. And so I come back in a moment when it's done, and I show you the milk and I taste it. Let's see what it's like. See? That's pretty much a liter. And yeah, didn't taste it yet. It was some time of milking. I had to use my hands. And but now it looks beautiful. It has a nice color. It's a homogeneous texture. Yeah, sometimes it separates a little bit, but this looks so good so far. And yeah, it's a typical light texture when you filter something. That's nice. But most important, of course, it has to be delicious. I will find out in a moment. Good. Wonderful. I got it right. There's a little bit of pepper, cardamom, just a little bit in the background playing somewhere here. And this is not too sweet. And the turmeric is there. The other day I tried more turmeric in the same recipe. I tried a little bit. And we had more turmeric. All of a sudden, the whole drink felt a little bit coarse, heavy. yeah, as if there was too much particles. Same with the cinnamon. And you have said when you put too much cinnamon, it may taste a little bit delicious, more like cinnamon, and that's nice, this sweet earth flavor, but it gets also cloudy. The texture is a little bit, you feel there's a dust in there, something. So that is the problem with the turmeric also. I can't take too much, even if I want to have it taste a little bit more like turmeric. It's a nice flavor, strong but nice. But I can't, because when I take too much, it gets too thick, the texture. Yeah. So, but this time I got it right. So I think the measurements are pretty good now. And the other thing is that usually golden milk is something it's warm. Yeah, they cook the milk and put the ingredients in, and so they drink it right away. So you can also, this is raw, but you can also heat it a little bit. Yeah, can still be raw if you want, or even hotter. You see that what it looks like? It's nice and runny, beautiful texture. Has nothing thick here or cloudy or powdery in the flavor. That's very nice. So I will probably heat it a little bit, especially depends on what you want. It's a warming, really healthy, very becoming drink. It's energizing. It's also energizing, yeah, and it's really making me feel really great. And it's really also healing. It's a medicine, yeah, but a very delicious one. And it's a classical drink, golden milk. This is now the third recipe I made for the almond milk, golden almond milk. But next time maybe I will do something with, let's know. What could I take? Maybe cashews or whatever. I don't know yet. Let's see. Now I enjoy this one. And I will drink it slowly, sip by sip, because as I said, it goes directly into the bloodstream. Doesn't need to be digested. And if you drink it too fast, and get maybe a little bit confused, or the sugar spikes in the blood, that is called, that can feel a little bit bad. It's not dangerous usually, but it's not pleasant. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I said it has to be pleasant and delightful. Fasting has to feel great, because that is part of the ancient medicine, the holistic medicine from India or China. They all know that. Balance is the base for healing. The body heals itself if it's balanced. The different elements, and so they had different ways to talk about balance. What balance is. Today we talk about well-being. The WHO, the World Health Organization, says health is well-being, the physical, mental, and social well-being. So 3 parts have to be balanced. It's all part this kind of balance. The ancient medicine is also a balance, but more. They also they look at the individual more, whereas the modern science, Western science, looks at great statistics. The individual is only one of many in studies. Ayurveda approaches more one person. Both are important. Of course, today modern medicine is really the most important part of the medicine, but also they look at ancient parts, and science in general getting more and more holistic, more and more disciplines come together. But yeah, that's another story. In the end, the holistic approach is very valuable, and it shows me that that these kind of drinks they enhance the capability of the body to heal itself. It's really a healing drink. You can feel that also. Feels really powerful and healthy, and it's delicious. I like that. So, long talk. It's enough. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.